If you could offer a rally driver a dream event where the roads are a real challenge but also fun to drive, and it's set on a magical Pacific island where anyone would be happy to spend a couple of weeks on holiday enjoying the scenery or relaxing on a deserted beach, then Rally New Caledonia should be a contender for top of the list. Sitting in the South Pacific east of Australia, New Caledonia enjoys a great year-round climate. With a population of 180,000, Noumea is the island's largest city, and it's here that Rally of New Caledonia is based. Although this year the event heads 150 kilometres north to a new HQ in Boorail. This second round of the Asia Pacific Rally Championship finds Sweden's Pontus Tiedemann in the points lead, having won the New Zealand opening round, with his teammate Gaurav Gill in second. Already, Tiedemann has been enjoying himself here.
It's been fantastic. Really enjoy this place, and good weather all the days, so good food, so it cannot be much better. We have the local hero John Luis here. It took us 2 days and show us around some island and also this island. So it's been really fantastic. Really happy for that.
Has he given you some advice or tips on the roads?
Yeah, he knows exactly every stone and corner here. So for sure he tell a little bit. So it's been interesting.
Jean-Louis Leroux is fifth in the Worth Cup points and second in the Pacific Cup. As a local, Leroux has enjoyed playing host to his international MRF teammates over the past few days.
Yes, it was good. We spent 2 days together, and I think they appreciate it.
And you've obviously been showing them some of the traditional dishes in New Caledonia?
Yeah, seafood platter, I think the best in the world.
Obviously also probably giving them a few tips and hints on the roads. I mean, you know those roads really well, don't you?
Yes, but what can I say? You know, they are professional drivers. They know better than me. Even if they don't know the roads, when they pass once, they know the roads. There is some tricky place, and especially, you know, on the crest, with all the crest and the corner on the crest or just behind the crest. And some places it's quite fast and quite rough, and if you go fast, the car can just fly a little bit.
In New Zealand, Gill struggled for pace because of suspension problems in his Skoda. While he did pick up points for second place, the Indian driver's determined to get a win here, even though he knows it's going to be a challenge.
I've never seen so many crests in my life, and you know, we were just talking to Glenn, and me and him just discussed that how many crests there are in the pace notes. It's just full of crest into crest into crest, maybe a few hundred crests, I think. So it's going to be technical, challenging. Pace note is the key, you know, good pace notes, and we're quite confident of our notes now, and hopefully, you know, it's a new rally, so let's see. It's a long rally though.
And what's your approach going to be? You know, first stage. What's your feeling?
Well, it's very easy to make a mistake here, so I'm definitely, you know, gonna keep it together and see and try and get my rhythm back. We'll settle in. I'll see how the rhythm goes, and then we'll take it from there.
In the absence of the third and fourth place drivers in New Zealand, Kiwi Mike Young and Indonesian Suban Aksa respectively, it's going to be left to local drivers to challenge the MRF Tyres team. And one competitor who is capable of that is last year's overall winner, Manu Guizhou. A regular competitor in France, he'll be starting here in the latest two-wheel drive Renault R3T.
Drive the new Clio R3T with a turbo engine, and it was good for gravel because there is more torques.
So you're hoping to be able to scare some of the S2000 cars here?
Yes, but I think it's really difficult on gravel to fight with four-wheel drive. So I will do my maximum, but it should be difficult.
Guizhou's teammate for this event is his team owner, Philippe Blanche, driving an older Clio. They'll have some real competition from Eric Riande in a Peugeot 207 S2000 car. Lionel Martin in a Citroën DS3. and Eugene Croignet and Alan Delstein, both driving Mitsubishi Evo 9s. After the start ceremony on Thursday night, Shakedown takes place on Friday morning, not far from the rally base in Ducos. As there's been no pre-event testing venues available, it's the first opportunity for the competitors to test their cars. It's especially important for Gil. After his suspension problems in New Zealand, the team is keen to make sure his car is back on the pace. Tiedemann is in fact half a second faster than Gil over the test course. Here we join the Swedish driver for an idea of how these guys do it.
Vänster 5 minus in, 50. Kort höger 4 minus in, 30. Vänster 4 minus över krön, halv lång. Över kort minus 20. Kort höger 4 plus, 60. Kort höger 3 in, till vänster 4 över krön, 100. Vinkel vänster i vägskäl före krön, höger 3, 70, vänster 6, 50, slätt vänster 6 plus, halvlång över krön, nyper något över krön och mål, 120, höger 6 plus, 50,5.
After Shakedown, the competitors travel across town to Numia's Hippodrome for 2 stages in front of a big crowd. On the first run through the Super Special, local favourite Riande is 5th fastest and puts on a spectacular display for the crowd in his Peugeot S2000. Leroux is nearly a second quicker than the Peugeot, but is pipped for 3rd place by Croignet in his older Mitsubishi Evo 9. He's 0.3 of a second faster. The battle for fastest time on the 3.75 kilometre layout on the horse racing track was always going to be between MRF teammates Gil and Tiedemann. First blood goes to Tiedemann, a whopping 3.4 seconds faster than Gil over the short course. He thus goes into an immediate lead. The Swede asserts his dominance with fastest time on the second run too.
Regardez ce garçon, 24 ans seulement.
Gil is just 1.9 seconds slower this time. Leroux puts the hammer down in this session. 3rd fastest, 2 seconds quicker than Croignet and moving up to 3rd overall. Stay with us. After the break, the event moves north and there's drama in the first 500 metres. The next morning, Rally of New Caledonia resumes to the north of Noumea on a set of stages not used in the event since 2009. It's set in some iconic New Caledonian countryside, not far from the sea. It's Gil who's away first, going slightly wide on the second corner, immediately finding that the northern roads are way more slippery than expected. 16 kilometres long, the Norball stage is typical of the roads the drivers will face over the next 2 stages, twisty with lots of crests. Tiedemann, with a slender 5.4 second lead after last night's 2 stages, is away next and hoping he can increase the gap. Wow, he's gone wide there. Looks like he might have hit something. Sure enough, in slow-mo, we can see the right rear tyre starting to come off. With over 15 kilometres still to run, Tiedemann and co-driver Emil Axelsson are forced to pull over and change the tyre. They do the change in a spectacularly quick time, but still lose over 2 minutes to Gill. With 245 kilometres of stages still to go, the question is, do they have any chance of catching their teammate? Tiedemann's tyre dramas and the resulting long delay promotes Le Rowan to second place, 20 seconds ahead of third place Kroenje.
Then crest, 5 left, plus, on, 6 right.
Guizhou is another to come unstuck early in the stage, understeering wide on the first corner, then going completely off the road on the next. It's a great escape. The Frenchman doesn't lift off at all, and the Renault bounces back onto the road. But further on into the stage, it becomes obvious he hasn't escaped unscathed. The Renault is suffering constant understeer. Setting identical times for fourth fastest on the stage are Delstein in the Mitsubishi and Lionel Martin in his Citroën DS3. Martin holds an advantage though. After 3 stages, he's 4th overall and leads the 2-wheel drive class. Unhappily, this is the last we see of Riande. Shortly after this, he crashes down a bank, severely damaging his S2000 Peugeot. Stage 4, Beaupré, is 25 kilometres long, with 8k of tarmac to start, then heading into classic New Caledonian countryside. The cars racing along ridge tops marked by hundreds of dangerous crests.
Right, 30, crest, centre, short 5 left, 50, brakes, slow, 5 right into 2 plus left.
The last part of the stage is a big, wide open road. The car's in 6th gear and on the rev limiter. We catch up with Gill at the end of the stage.
Yeah, how was that first 2 stages?
Ooh, unbelievable. There's no grip at all.
Yes.
And, about 8-9 kilometers is very fast tarmac. So it overheats the tire to an extent where the rest of the stage you just can't do anything, just no driving. Just wait and drive, that's all you can do. It's just so difficult to drive.
With Pontus having a problem, you got a good lead.
I don't know, yes, maybe. I'm not sure about this stage, but last stage, I think he picked up a puncture or something, so I don't know, but it's still a long rally.
In fact, Tiedemann leaps from 6th place up to 3rd, but he is still 6 seconds slower than Gill.
Yeah, we had a puncture, so don't know if it was really from the start or we was sliding quite wide in a corner, so we hit something there, so maybe it's get the puncture there, but it's something a little bit strange, so we need to find out what it is.
At the end of stage 5, the last corner is a long right-hander. It provides some spectacular viewing as Gill goes slightly wide. Tiedemann's through next, attacking the corner and finishing the stage 5 seconds faster than the rally leader, recovering some of his lost time. While Leroux has been rallying for over 40 years, he's lost none of his aggression, especially on these familiar roads, and he hangs on to 2nd spot, although he's now only 9.7 seconds ahead of the chasing Tiedemann. On Borgen, the final stage of the morning, Tiedemann's quickest again, by 4 seconds. But with a 2-minute buffer, Gill can afford to back off slightly and take the safe options. Back at midday service, all the drivers are talking about how slippery the roads are.
The first corner that I took and just found the backside of the car completely trying to come in the front and spin me around, and I was quite shocked with the level of grip or the lack of it in the stages. So I knew it's going to be very tricky. So we just nursed through and just made sure that we keep the car in the middle.
The morning definitely hasn't gone to plan for Tiedemann, but it did get better.
Yeah, the 2 last stages has been okay, so we just fight back or do the best we can. So it's nothing else.
But also you haven't been feeling so good this morning.
No, it's actually been for a couple of days. I have some flu, so it's not 100%, but it's also happens sometimes.
Leroux does know these roads, but even he found them more slippery than expected.
It was loose. Yes. And hard to keep the car on the road. Very sideways everywhere.
Fourth place Cronje has had a great start to the event and now has his sights set on catching Leroux.
Today is very good for me. Difficult, but very good. My co-driver good. Possible 3.
Possible.
Jean-Louis. Very speed, but tonight possible.
All right.
Guizhou has fallen to 7th place and second in two-wheel drive after engine problems and handling issues during the morning.
The engine is not full, so I think now it will be okay after the service park. But for the for the 4 stages, it was difficult because I need to drive only with one hand and one hand on the level on the gearbox. It was a joystick. It was difficult.
After the break, Tiedemann and Guizhou go all out to catch their rivals. Three of the morning's 4 stages are repeated in the afternoon, which does bring a good sea breeze to blow the dust away. With the road swept and theoretically offering more grip, Tiedemann goes on the attack. The Swede is fastest on 2 of the 3 stages, but at the end of the day, he's only shaved 2.5 seconds off the deficit to Gill. On 2 of the stages, Gill is only beaten by 1 or 2 seconds. And then on the very fast 25k Beaupré test, he's fastest, thus ending the day with a lead of 1 minute and 56 seconds. Leroux drops to 3rd behind Tiedemann and finishes the day 3.5 minutes behind Gill. But he easily fends off any challenge from his New Caledonian rivals.
Medium 6 right, on, short 6 left plus. On, short 6 left plus.
While 4th place Cronje was confident he might be able to put some pressure on Leroux, in fact he drops another 30 seconds to his countryman through the afternoon stages. Delstein is 5th, nearly 2 minutes behind Cronje, but fighting to hold off Guizhou. The Renault driver goes on the attack in the afternoon and is rewarded with 6th, overtaking Martin for the lead in the two-wheel drive class and now just 23 seconds behind 5th place Delstein. At the end of day 1, after 125 kilometres of special stages, Gill has a very healthy 1 minute and 56 second lead over his teammate. The big question for tomorrow is whether Tiedemann will try to narrow the gap or will take a no-risk approach and settle for 2nd place points. With Leroux in 3rd place and representing both the international and national fields, we leave it to his co-driver Scott Beckwith to sum up the day.
I think Grav did a great job today of holding Pontus at bay. Obviously we have a competition on our hands now, which is excellent. So we really aim to watch them and let them put pressure on each other, and we will see what comes for us. But clearly we wanted to be leading the national championship, and to have a minute up our sleeve tonight, that's a good place to start tomorrow. It means everyone else has to chase, and we can go out there and run our rally. So looking forward to that.
After a 45-minute service break to check over the cars and make sure everything is ready for the next day, the competitors and teams head for a well-deserved rest at the idyllic beachside Sheraton Deva Resort. But there's no time for them to loll about by the pool or the lagoon. They arrived in the dark, and the next morning they leave in the dark. Sunrise is still 30 minutes away as Gill and co-driver Glenn McNeil make their way to Parc Fermé to prepare themselves for another day's competition. What's ahead is a repeat run over the day 1 stages, but in the opposite direction. It's Tiedemann who makes a statement straight away, going 7.5 seconds quicker than Gill on stage 11. He then takes another 17 seconds on the 25k stage 12. Although Gill loses more time on stage 13, he's determined to do just enough to stay out front and take no risks. By morning service, Tiedemann has taken 48 seconds off his teammate's lead, but Gill's co-driver McNeil is not bothered.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, still got a minute 7 left, and it's like 55k to go. So it's we're just sort of managing it and just trying to find a nice rhythm to actually just keep concentrating.
Yeah, and you are still finding it slippery. I mean, even though the roads are pretty swept.
Oh, absolutely. I think today you end up back on, even though the roads are in reverse, but it's a slightly different line, or the guys down the back probably not driving quite in the same line. So yeah, it's a little bit interesting. The last one was in the same direction, and we had no grip, absolutely none. So we're actually slower than yesterday in the last one.
Leroux has a clean run in the morning to cement his third place and extend his lead in the National Championship. But the big mover this morning is Renault driver Guizhou. He takes 46 seconds off rival Delstein and moves up to 5th place. After the lunchtime service break, Tiedemann continues his attack on the lead. However, Gill's in a commanding position, able to control his pace and avoid risks. And he's unperturbed by Tiedemann taking 10 or 12 seconds off him on each stage. And indeed, he judges it perfectly, arriving back at final service still with a 39-second lead on his teammate.
Well, it's been a great weekend for us and the team. We had some small issues at the start of the weekend, but the team made a great effort and quickly got it sorted, which helped us get the confidence back in the car. And we had a great day on the day 1, and day 2 we controlled the rally by just giving away consistently small amounts of time to our teammate. And we're here first and second, which is the most important thing. So great effort by the team. Tires worked perfectly well. There was no rain, so that was a good weekend for us. Maybe just 1 or 2 points is probably the difference between me and Pontus. I'm already looking forward to Australia.
Tiedemann is happy to have won all the stages on day 2, and his second place sees him retain the lead in the Drivers' Championship by 3 points.
Good experience from this rally, different surface, and yeah, for sure we had a puncture on the first stage. It's my mistake, hit a little wall, and so that's not destroy the weekend, but it's make it not easy. So, but we've been driving good the rest of the rally, I think, and get a lot of experience and good training for Rally Portugal is next weekend. So, and also some improvement in my pace notes and everything. So we're happy, and I really be enjoying to be here.
After 2 international events in his new car, Leroux is starting to find some pace and enjoys pushing hard on the final stages of his home rally. His result completes an MRF Race Talk team clean sweep of the podium places, and Leroux is a very happy man at final service.
Congratulations, Jean-Louis, you got your wish.
Yes, we finished on the podium as I wanted, and I am leading the New Caledonia Championship and first New Caledonia driver, so very good. Yeah, it is very good.
4th overall after a great drive in an older car is Croignet.
4th place is very good for me because the rally is very difficult. Jean-Louis 3 is very speed, good driver, good car, and 4 for me good, very good.
After a difficult first day, Guizhou shows the potential of Renault's new Clio R3T on gravel by finishing in the top 5 and claiming fastest 2-wheel drive honours.
Yes, all the weekend we developed the Clio because after each rally better and better the car. So now on gravel I know very well on tarmac, but on gravel it's not enough. But now after this rally I think it's good.
The MRF drivers fill the podium and take home maximum points and the prizes for the FIA Asia Pacific Rally Cup powered by Worth. And while Tiedemann finished second here, he still heads the points, with Gill a close second. Leroux moves into third with Young fourth and APRC and Cronje sharing 5th. The next event for the FIA Asia Pacific Rally Championship is Australia's Rally of Queensland. Until then, keep up with all the news and action on our website, aprc.tv.
Shortcut.